Can you guys hear me? Testing 1, 2. We'll get started in about another minute. All right, I see 5 o'clock. Again, just want to facilitate a quick Q&A session for anything that may be lingering. I know we're only 2 days into our continuous learning plan, but we wanted to be able to get a little bit of feedback, talk with you about things that are going well, things that we can adjust. Tomorrow, we'll actually be meeting as a district. We have a small district continuous learning team that will meet virtually and go over some of the concerns. Additionally, next week, we'll actually have a full survey that'll go out to not only parents, but also our staff and our students as well to get feedback as we kind of look at what our second cycle will look like as we go through. But again, just wanted to provide some time. I know it is an absolutely beautiful evening. I actually ran home, mowed, and came right back up because it's so nice. I didn't want to waste any bit of the sunshine. But again, wanted to facilitate a little bit of time, so we'll go straight to the chat box. I've got 3 things at the end that'll be very important to kind of go over. But other than that, just some reminders actually. I'll just kind of keep it up to questions that pop up, and we'll go from there. Before we get too far, again, as a reminder, this video will be uploaded to our new YouTube channel. So again, all you have to do is search for hashtag Pup Nation. So right there, just search for that on YouTube and you'll see our channel. We have some great educational videos, some things that have been there from the past. And again, they'll all be housed in one area instead of trying to feed through the massive amount of posts that end up on Facebook. You'll have it in one concise area. So let's get started. We'll go through here. Driver's ed looks like the first question. For those that students are still going to be here, we'll probably just end up rolling that into next year. And then again, if for some reason you were to leave or weren't going to be utilizing that, then we would look at a refund. So that'll be taken care of when the time comes. But again, we're still kind of hopeful to see how things go on. I know there's been some news out of some other countries as things have kind of started to go on the other side of things. Obviously, in Kansas, these next 2 weeks are going to be the peak from what we've been told. So we're still going to remain very vigilant. But again, always cautiously optimistic that we know we're going to see the other side of this at some point. And so we'll see what best fits. But again, if that's not an option in the future for you, we'll take care of that and get that taken care of. Yep. So a good comment or question that we knew up front. We actually debated for a long time regarding different methods of communication. We know one thing out of this with certainty is that we are going to be in a much better spot. Heaven forbid that this ever happen again. We know that we've got a multitude of different platforms that we're utilizing, all for different reasons, whether it be comfort level of the staff, whether it be for the features that are better for a lower grade level, a mid grade level, or a high grade level. But we're going to have some serious discussions out of this where next year we become unified. That's been loud and clear. We know that that's something that we need to address, and in the future we know that we'll have kind of narrowed down our platforms just for ease from everybody. I know there's two sides of everything. I had heard from one parent that said, well, I like being able to know that when I hear from Shobi, that's my third grade student. When I hear from fresh grade, that's my first grade student. But the reality is by and large part having a singular system. That's what we've tried to do with our social media. That's what we tried to do with many things to be able to streamline that. We do need to become more efficient and create that one type of system that we'll utilize, and that's something that we'll reflect on. Again, to try to do that midstream with only 5.5 weeks left now, we just felt like there'd be more training and frustration to try to get that in before the end of the year. But moving forward, that's something that we will adjust accordingly. Grade level as far as next year. Again, specifically, that's something that I'll reiterate. The reality is that the majority of our students are going to progress on to the next grade. If your student was one of those that, again, had concerns, and that would have already been communicated, that we had already identified, we had probably already started some of those conversations, then again, those are still conversations that are yet to be had. I would encourage you to contact your teacher directly to have those conversations along with the principal at the building. But again, for the vast majority as it goes through, again, we feel like the majority of our students are well prepared to advance. That'll be standard throughout, but there are going to be those handful, just like there would be in any normal year. And again, that happens regardless of the situation we're in now or the fact of just a regular year. We're going to have those cases where, because of the best interest of the student, we may look at that. However, again, we're going to look at everything possible not to make that happen. Again, questions about turning things in as it goes through with your packet. Your teacher is the best person to contact directly. So again, just give them a quick email. They have those office hours. I'll be posting that tomorrow. Sorry, I got held up a little bit on that, but that'll be on the continuous learning website. So again, make sure you go there. You can see specifically when they're going to be available almost immediately to an email or a response as it goes through. But that's going to be your best bet regarding that as it goes through, as far as communication and turning things in. When we look at that for a lot of the things that we're trying to do is just provide those activities and that option for you to keep that with your student, to keep that refreshed as they move forward. So again, your teacher, your student's teacher is the direct answer when it comes to all those questions as far as what their expectations are as it goes through. Any other general things out there? I got 3 things I'm going to go over at the end. I may pop one in if I don't see a question or a comment that comes up. So first thing I had, again, later on this evening, starting at 6 o'clock, the FFA group is going to have a drive-through for the plants and vegetables that they have up there. Again, this is a big fundraiser for them throughout the year. It's always extremely successful, but given the nature of where things are, they're going to do their best to go through that. But from 6 to 8 this evening on the north side of the high school, right by the greenhouse, you can't miss it. Come through, get them your order. Make sure you bring a check or exact cash. They'll get you taken care of. But again, those students have kind of gotten that prepared for the sell, and they've worked with the Booster Club on that. But again, trying to do our best to get that stuff out and be able to close things down just for safety. But 6 to 8, we don't want those plants just to die off. So if you're needing something, I know I saw some heirloom tomatoes and some other stuff that were in there. It looks like a sweet potato vine, a lot of flowers. Please come in and let us know, help out the FFA group. But again, that's from 6 to 8 tonight. So that was kind of an announcement, 1 of 3 that I have for this evening. Packets. So packets are on a 2-week cycle. So they'll get one basically every other Monday. So we delivered here on the 6th, and then we'll have a full 2 weeks, and then they'll get another one as they go through. So again, those will be available in 2-week cycles. So I've kind of heard from some, just as a reminder, when you look at those, remember this is 2 weeks worth of work. So don't sit down, don't go through it all at once. We'll have that every 2 weeks. And again, the kind of the purpose of tonight, some of that as we go through in the feedback, is to try to adjust for our second cycle. Again, we're kind of building this ship as we've already set sail, but we're going to do our best to make adjustments and to do what's great for our Candy Bullpups here. A good reminder, another one. So I know I only had 3, but I'll throw one out there. Good yes cheer tryout and registration ends tomorrow at noon. So make sure for all of our interested students, make sure you get signed up again for tomorrow at noon. High school does not get packets unless you, again, do not have that internet connectivity. So we've got just make sure you're checking in with your teacher on email. We'll get you squared away there. If you need, again, you don't have access at all to the internet, then we'll provide a packet printed off and we'll actually mail that to you. But you need to call the high school, so 620-879-9220, and they'll get you taken care of. And so if again, at the high school, junior high, if for some reason you need that, make sure you give them a call. Otherwise, you can connect through email, get them started. Most of them are going through Google Classroom, and the first couple of days have been really good. As far as I know, it's only for plants. I think there's a Facebook post on Candy FFA, so make sure you look there. I'd seen some flowers, like I said, sweet potato vine. I remember tomato. I know there were a few other things, but again, you can just drive through real quick. So if you're out and about tonight and you want to enjoy a nice sunset before it goes, drive through, give them a holler, get something, and they'll get you taken care of. Great comment from Ms. Smith on the third grade. We couldn't agree more. That's been our, by and large part, our most successful rollout. And kind of like I mentioned earlier with the multiple platforms, we know we're going to make adjustments moving forward next year. Things like this can occur. And even though in my wildest dreams, I don't think anyone would have ever thought, the reality is that now that it has, we've got to be prepared in case it does happen again. And third grade is going to serve as a model for many. And there are great examples throughout the entire district. But in large part, as far as an overall grade, when you look at what they've been able to do successfully, we had a couple of small things just with some updates that we're working through. But by the vast majority, it has been very successful over the first 2 days. And we look to kind of use that as a model as we move forward. Let's see here. As a reminder on packets, they're out underneath the high school if you didn't quite get one. If you have a serious concern because of medical reasons and you cannot drive to pick that up and you're not on a delivery route for food, again, it's available there as well, or through the drive-thru through food. Let us know. We will get that to you. If I've got to deliver it out there personally, if we have to mail it, that way there's some time, whatever we need to do, again, we want to be able to accommodate and take care of you. But make sure you get a hold of us and we'll get you taken care of. Again, if you're a junior or a senior high school student, make sure you make contact. They can take care of you. Your teachers can. And then again, if you do not have any type of access whatsoever, then we can create a modified packet that's print and we'll get that to you. We understand that there's some that may have taken a quick vacation over spring break and were locked down and haven't been able to come back. And so, again, we'll look through those things. It's very particular, but again, we want to make sure that we address every student here. That's important to us, just like we're doing with our meal service. And I have to throw another shout out again to that. We hit another record high today. 89% of our students are receiving that. And so that is a huge thing. Every day I have a superintendent meeting at 12:30. And there's about 3 districts that are competing right now, and I'm glad that we eclipsed them again today. And so that's a great thing that we're able to provide that service. Again, we won't be here on Good Friday, but we will be again the rest of the week. So make sure you sign up if you haven't. We're glad to take care of that. We're using tons of safety precautions as we go through. That's our primary concern. But again, we want to make sure that we provide that service for our community. Didn't look like I had any other questions pop up, so I'll go to my second of my 3 announcements that I have this evening. Just a reminder, 7 o'clock, we've got something new. We're calling it our Pup Story Time. So again, if you want to log on for another small Facebook Live event, we'll have that very first one. And as a reminder, these videos will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. Make sure you go and search, here we go, Pup Nation on YouTube, and you can see that. And they'll all be housed there. That way you don't have to kind of scan through and figure out which one you want. They're labeled accordingly, and it kind of gives it in a clear spot. So again, that's 7 o'clock tonight for the Pup Story Time. All right, I'm going to hang just for like a couple minutes in case someone was late. And then my third and final announcement, just as a reminder, again, as we go through this, less is more. And so I'll encourage that not only with students and parents and our staff, especially as we go through these, but the reality is that when you hit that brick wall or that frustration or the things that come up, you've done enough at that point. Now, again, if it's 5 seconds in, then maybe the next time we want to hit 6 seconds or whatever that may be. But the reality is again, when you get to that point, walk away from it, go to something different, come back, look at it again, and reach out to your teachers. That's why we have office hours, not only in the morning, but also in the afternoon. That's why we have a dedicated email that we created, the pupnation@candy.com, where you can send questions. I've gotten tons of Facebook messages that I'm trying to reply to as quick as possible. So again, those are all great methods. We want to utilize everything that we can to help you out through this and make this as painless as possible. We know there's going to be hiccups and hurdles. We know there's going to be that, but again, less is more. Step away, reassure yourself that again, you weren't trained for this, and we're doing our best to facilitate it. Rely on those teachers. You know what they do day in and day out. With our Bullpup family. And so if you've got a question or a concern, get with them. They're eager to help. They're available to ease that burden a little bit and help out with it. And we'll get through this together as a family. All right. I think I've talked for that last 3 minutes. If there's no other questions, it is such a good night. I hate to waste it. Let's see here. We're not sure on weight room. I know, and I hate to keep saying that and push that on down, but it all depends on guidance from the CDC and what our local health department says. So we're not sure kind of how that's going to go. Same way with prom graduation. I don't have an update for those because I'm holding out. We want to provide something. I'm not willing to throw in the towel just yet. The reality is that our students deserve it, and I know that that the community expects that of me, as do I. Because again, like I said, I've got 2 wonderful kids of my own, but I truly view the 765 that are here in this district all as my own as well, and I want to treat them accordingly. So we're going to figure something out. We're going to make sure that we do everything that we can to serve our kids in the best capacity that we have. Thank you, Ms. Kirk. We do appreciate that. I would agree, and I think I had said that in a couple of videos. There is no place that I would rather be going through a situation like this. Our town has the unique ability to rally and come together unlike any community that I've ever been in. And so I think that energizes us as staff as we work through these things. We know that we're going to find a way to get through it, and we're here to help. So again, don't hesitate to reach out. When you feel that frustration, the first thing you should do is reach out to your teacher. Again, email, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is that you need to find somebody. Give us a call. We're here during the building, in the buildings during the day. We're glad to help and get you assistance. Alrighty, with that, going once, going twice, third time's a charm. We're going to get out of here. I am this evening and going to enjoy this sunset. This will be on YouTube later. So again, look at search for Pup Nation. Don't forget 6 to 8 tonight with the FFA plant sale, and 7 o'clock our very first ever Pup Story Time. So again, join us. Let us know what we can do to make things better. And as always, I appreciate all of the continued support and the hard work that's going on out there with the kids. So have a good evening, and we'll catch you next time.